All right, do we have a sound check?
All the kids I know, that's. Oh, where's?
Joseph, sound check?
What's the name's kid?
No.
Kids on it.
We hear already loud and clear.
The whole country.
Yeah?
Okay. He's in an elite. His nephew's in an elite unit.
Which nephew?
Huh? Me?
Okay.
I have a 51.
All right, we take a break for a second so we can have some children.
They called him that shot.
No problem.
He's not in combat, he's intelligent.
And have him show him the that's how it's supposed to be. He's obviously there's no Gemara here?
No, he's waiting.
Oh, the only thing about tonight. The only thing is like.
Yeah.
No Gemara here?
Yeah.
Sorry, we dropped you.
Oh, that's worth a nice.
Albie gets some out of Jaeger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Big mouth.
Daughter got wow.
He works on Sunday, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, very good.
Huh? There's no coming back? Oh, no, this one. Be very difficult. What the bad news?
Oh, why is that bad news? It's more for me.
Yeah. Please.
He's in charge of checking the airplanes before they go up.
Oh, my wife made it while she was still a ball simple.
Simple children.
That's it.
Oh, I thought it must have been in the-
What's the hospital? Oh, well, what are you gonna do then?
Sure. Wait all week for this. Relax on the criticism.
That's very important.
If you came to my house and did this, she would take me away.
Have a sprach with the
Yeah. She account thoughts it too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You get a model.
I get a model top, but a
Oh,
shot.
that's right.
No, but the kusin will be at the shop.
Okay.
Supposedly it's the minig for.
Mendy's
they
yard
live
site on
for-
Shabbos by Goyim.
Hmm?
Mendy's yard site Shabbos by
I know, I
Goyim.
saw that, yeah. It's way beyond.
Yeah.
I remember when I found out.
Mendy Rosenberg's first yard site Shabbos.
I was on my way to Auschwitz when I found out.
I was in Greece.
Very befitting. Yeah, in the next, here, soldiers there.
Oh, Josh. What's that?
Supplement drink?
And I
Sure,
wasn't very,
Johnny, sure.
and I wasn't very happy.
What do you want? Seltzer?
Yeah.
Rabbi Seltzer?
This is the
Sure.
first year you want,
Yeah.
This one's.
Okay, I'm gonna give Rabbi first and then I'll give you.
You're correct. Landon Arts, so.
The weather came from.
2 days later.
you didn't do anything.
Johnny, you want this one you said?
Yeah.
Why? This is
No,
from
he
the,
didn't get the
I
Parsha.
spoke
He
to
was-
Johnny's program
this
this
is from
Huh?
Bingo.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I like that.
You like it?
Mendy was nipped there last year, was Parshas Chayesara.
First yard site.
What is, I think, but the first time we met.
Laminated.
The office.
Time, what you want a seltzer?
Better.
Rick
What you look like.
Rick put on a video.
Even an American. You know.
That's always look at 9/11. Remember 9/11? What the city was like?
Yeah.
The city was a community.
Right.
Everybody rallied.
The country, not just.
Correct.
We don't have complete octopus.
There's no more. Likud, Gimel, Dal, Shas, it's all.
You don't have complete octopus. Very practice, still not part of it.
Yeah.
They're
They're Chaylim.
I don't think so we have to.
It's different, they're Chaylim. You have to judge them differently.
We have to kill them.
Oh, that's
Oh, you have
different
to, you have to
story.
recommend this. They're fighting.
That's Chaylim.
My father was Palestinian.
Right, from before 48.
Yeah, because I did call you.
Sure. My trigger says Palestine on your passport. It says Palestine.
Short ceasefire to allow humanitarian aid.
President of the
They won't bomb for a few hours.
And for what age? Things in all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Good morning.
What?
What do you hear from your father?
Yeah, Maury Fogel's talking there, yeah.
What do you hear from him?
I may have to look at. I'm so shocked by some Israeli security guards last night.
Where is he?
He was like wandering around outside. Apparently he didn't realize where he was standing. He was really like surrounded by Arabs. He just like walk around. He didn't realize. Like all of a sudden the guys like, they had no clue who he was, and they didn't believe him at first.
Shachar, he's in charge of checking your things. What they got from it.
Just like interrogating him, telling him who he was. They basically got crazy American.
Not crazy, dumb. But he took a lesson from that, probably.
No, they invited him to move to the workshop and join the security.
Huh?
Somebody?
Yeah.
I'll be there sometime.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Who'd you like to come to get my,
What's that?
who'd you like to come to family?
All right, we're back.
Oh.
I like the double thing with that. You got the other thing, pepper thing.
So, Yosef, should we save us some shrooms? There's discrepancies about how. Sam, you there? I see your ceiling. Sam's got this camera on, but doesn't. There's Sam. I don't know if she was. I'm not sure exactly. They're not saying.
You're not talking about the other
Pretty
one.
much now.
Supposedly, I don't know for sure. Interact with them. They need people. Where's? Part of the problem. Economy now.
I go off. So befitting where we are in Kali Yisrael right now, we are in the Parsha. Shvi is the Parsha Akeda.
I tell you this one.
Akeda is Yitzchak.
Let's get a thing of it.
Hey. What? A couple of observations that have come up during the week. And a couple that we haven't even started to think about. But there is, which I saw this morning, I think it's like right to the heart.
Mhm.
Is Rashbam at the beginning of the Parsha of the Kedem. Maybe we should save it for later because it's a little bit hard, harsh. So the whole word Elokim Nisos Avram leads up in a great deal of discussion between the Ramban, the Ibn Ezra. Rashi tells the V'yachad Dvarim Ha'ela has two possible scenarios. One is, as Rashi says, there's Rashi. That some say that the Satan was Mekatri because Avram made a big Suda, and he didn't bring any karbonos. So he said, okay, he gave him a son, so why didn't he bring karbonos? So Hashem told him, he says, you're kidding. He says, if I asked him to bring his son for a carbon, he would do it. Right? That's one. There's another Pshat Achad Yishmael, that Yishmael was taunting Yitzchak. He was telling Yitzchak, you were 8 days old when you had a business. You didn't have to suffer. You don't remember nothing. I was 13 years old, and I was willing, and I gave it, and I did it willingly. If you would have been there, I bet you wouldn't. If you would have been 13 years old, you wouldn't have done so. Yitzchak answered, "Are you kidding? If Hashem asked me for my whole body, I would give it to him." So therefore, starts the Parsha Kedah. What's the message? The message is don't say something that you might not be ready to keep. It's
Like a promise.
Yeah.
And
Or-
you explain.
Hashem tells the Satan, Abram, I let them give his son, he wouldn't say so. Satan says, okay, Hashem, let's see, let's test him. Because that's the purpose of the test. To prove to the Satan that Avram is Yer Shemayim, or to prove to Yishmael that Yitzchak is Yer Shemayim. It's a little bit up there. They're beautiful Midrashim, but it's a little bit hard to say that that's for that purpose. I shouldn't go tell Avram, I want you to bring him Halil La'olah. And so the Ramban says every place in the Torah that says that there's a Nes and the Soy and a Nes, it's to prove not to Hashem. Hashem knows very well what people are capable of doing. Hashem does it so that the person who is tested should know what they know, because they don't know what they're really at. Right? The person who says, "I'm ready to do it," but are we really ready to do it? So Hashem wants to show the world that show Avraham Avinu that he's going for me that his willingness is accepted. I've said it many times, and I think it's continuously, it goes through my mind every single day. The Sodom was brought on the Kedoshim. He said the Ziva Shalom says in one of they put together a pamphlet on the Shoah on the Holocaust, that why do we call 6 million Kedoshim? A lot of them died. Not first of all, denying that they were Jews. They denied that they should be, they were, says, why do we call them all Kedoshim? We don't differentiate. He says, why are they called Kedoshim? So the Salon Rebbe says, take a look. He says, we say Kriya Shema every day. Say, B'chol lebavcha, b'chol nafshecha, u'meidecha. B'chol lebavcha, with all of your heart, b'chol nafshecha, even if they would ask you to give your life. You say it twice, 3 times a day. Are you being asked to do it? No. So you're selling the Baruch. If they would ask me, when I say Kriya Shema, if they would ask me, I would say, yes, b'chol nafshecha. Right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Chazal tell us, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's a Gemara in Kedushin and several other places. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Masaref Machshav V'Tov L'Maisa. HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts this. If somebody says they want to do a mitzvah, even if they don't do it, Hashem is for Klal Yisrael. Hashem accepts the thought, the willingness, as if and connects it to an action. First, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give you an opportunity to fulfill.
You'll get the credit for
You get the credit intentions. So he says, so take a look. They gave their lives without the kavanah. Those who died because they were Jews, even if they died, right, they died without having a kavanah. That why they're dying. We're saying the kavanah without having to do the action. So every time we say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, we're making them kedoshim. Beautiful time. Every time that we say Shema Yisrael, we're making them kedoshim. And I think about it all the time. Every time we say Shema, there's all these kedoshim. There's the chayalim and the chayalat and all the Klal Yisrael who's up there doing Moshe Nefesh, right? And the captive, the hostages. Are they able to say they are giving their lives? Maybe not without kavanah. They're doing it because whatever reason they're doing it, even if it's for revenge. Right? But our kavanah, it's that we're giving the chol lebavcha, chol nafshecha without having to be tested with the action. So our kavanah and their actions make all of us kedoshim. Right? And I think about it also when we say the Parsha of Tzitzis. Don't follow your heart and your eyes. We say every day, right? Say by Kriya Shema, twice a day at least. That if as long as we're ready to keep the Torah, we're ready not to follow after all of our own personal interests. Hashem says, you know what, I'll accept it. Be some Kedoshim. This is what makes it possible for you to be Kedoshim. So we are, and we say it. This is one of the old Dor I grew up with. I grew up with his children. With the father was ultimate chassid. He was a chazan. That's one of the things that they could do. They came to America. They had to make panos. They made chazan. The chazan. He eventually had other panos, but so he says, "Sigaven Yom Kodesh. I'm going to start davening Mitzvah. I started davening Musaf, and I got Kedoshim b'chol yom yalucha salah." And I thought about all my mishpacha that went up as Kedoshim. So I started to cry. He said, I started to cry in the middle of the Musaf. And the president of the synagogue says, "What's the chazan crying about now?"
They had a lot of that.
Yeah.
Plenty what to cry about.
Yeah, there's plenty to cry about. So we are in the process, when we look at the Parsha Kedah, we're thinking our kavanah has to be whatever whatever we have to be masakin in our world, if it's to answer the Satan, if it's to answer the world, we are being mamalabif by our willingness and our giving the intention when we're learning Torah, when we're davening, when we're doing mitzvahs, when we're helping other people, we're doing it in order to be so that Klal Yisrael should become complete. So then Klal Yisrael becomes Kedoshim. So there's an interesting Rashi. There's a couple of every here. Atoya dati ki'erei Elokim ato. The Malo tells Avram, now I know that you're because you're like chasachta b'ncha yechid chamemeni. God bes pasuk yud beis, pav beis yud beis. Vayera al tishlach yad kol anar bal taslim oki atoy dati kirei Elokim atu. Now I know that you are your Elokim. The Rashi says.
Now you know.
Now you know. Yeah. Atoy dati. This is the Rashi. Ma'ata yesh li ma lo hashiv l'sotin. The point is now I can answer Satan, right? The Satan was the one who pushed the entire Kedah, right? To the Ummos and to other nations of the world, how to make him that they question. Mahi chibasi eslacha. Why do I love you? Why do I love Klal Yisrael? Yesh li pischem per achshav. I have what to tell them. Shiroim ki yor Elokim, because we see with your dedication, your Elokim. Now I know what to tell them, because they were the ones who, the nations of the world. Yishmael said, "Why? What makes Klal Yisrael so different?" The Klal Yisrael's Yerushalayim, Klal Yisrael's dedication to Klal Yisrael, to who we are and what we are. The Baruch says, "Why do I love Klal Yisrael? I have what to answer them."
They named the place that.
Mm-hmm. So it
was Shalom from the last week's Parsha, and here,
Yerushalayim, and we know that then Rashi and we say, but we know that that the place that Kedah was the Mokum HaMikdash, that the Mizbeach is the Eben HaShasiyah, is the rock upon with which Hashem started the creation of the world. The center of the world is Yerushalayim. The center of Yerushalayim is the HaRav. The center of HaRav is the Eben HaShasiyah. But there's a fascinating Rashi. It just occurred to me. We talked a little bit about this week. Just it's such. I think it's quite cute. Avram Avinu harnesses his donkey. And Avita takes the two boys. He takes Yishmael and Eliezer, and he goes, and he chops he chops the wood for the oil of Yaakov. He goes to the place where Hashem told him to. So Abraham Avinu obviously knew where he was going to. Hashem told him he's going to go. And everybody agrees that Abraham Avinu wasn't a stranger to Eretz Yisrael at this point. Abraham Avinu had already been all over, and so he had already built a mizbeach there. And he knew that was the mizbeach, the Chazal, that was the mizbeach the Adam HaRishon first built. That was the mizbeach that Noach used. There was the mizbeach, right? Abraham built the mizbeach, so he knew exactly where he was going. The next pasuk, but on the third day, and Abraham lifted up his eyes, and he saw this place from the distance. Rashi says, "B'yom HaShlishi." There were 3 days. So Rashi says, "Lama icha." What took him so long? He knew where he was going. How far was it from wherever he was? It was Beis Lechem, or he was in Be'er Chayra, he was in Be'er-Sheva. It took him 3 days to get to Yerushalayim. The Rashi.
The opposite of Kriyas Derech.
So what took him so long to show it to Miyad Kidei Shelo Yomru. So people shouldn't say that Hashem frightened him, Hashem confused him. But turned out, and he lost the sight, lost his own mind, his own will. If he would have had time to think about it, he wouldn't have done it. So Hashem says, Avram, I know you can make this trip in one day. Avram, Yitzchak, they have a problem making kids there, getting to where they need to get to. Hashem said, Avram, slow down, take it easy. Show the world that you really know what you were doing. You knew why. So it tells us that sometimes when things happen, it's not because if we're ready or not, but because Hashem wants us to show that we know what we're doing. Take it easy. Slow down. This is going to be said. This is big. Make sure that you're showing the world that the exact opposite took place by Yetzias Mitzrayim. So they left 3 days. 3 days they left towards Eretz Yisrael after Yetzias Mitzrayim. And the Rashi and the Chazal tell us that there was a trip that usually takes 11 days. But Hashem made it in 3 days because he wanted Israel to get there so quickly before they changed their mind. So it was the exact opposite. But nevertheless,
It's a testament. There's also that Yitzchak also knew exactly where he was.
Sure, it says when he says, the pasuk is pasuk Zayin. Vayem Yitzchak al Avram Avi v'Yemer Avi v'Yemer Hineni B'ni. Hinei Eish V'Sim Ayach Sel Lola B'ni. Where is the Ola? V'Yemer Avram Alakim Yerla Asel Lola B'ni v'Yachush Nayam Achtav. So Rashi tells us, Yira Lo Yaseh Hashem will show us. Koloimar Yira, you'll see. V'Yivcha Lo Yaseh. Remain Seh Lo Ola B'ni. And if there is no Seh, then my son will be the Ola. Right? Even though Yitzchak knew that he was going to he went. So one of the things
was the Mesiras Nefesh of Yitzchak equal to the Mesiras Nefesh of Avraham Avinu, or
some say it was greater. That's why it's called a Kedesh Yitzchak, because
Hashem
told
Avram. The whole Nisei was Avraham, but it's called the Kedesh Yitzchak.
Avram knew that Hashem would talk to him. Yitzchak had the trust,
rely on his father.
So Yitzchak had to do Torah Shabbat Peh. Avram got Torah Shabbat Peh. Shalom told him exactly what he's supposed to do. Yitzchak had to take. Avram's when did it change? This one, like the Kliyok is unfortunately like Hashem told him, Halil. And then Hashem says, no, stop, you don't have to do it. what was that Bershom Kavanah? The Bershom was telling him, some say, if Bershom never really told him to shech him son. Hashem was telling him, Halei la'oila. They bring him to elevate him, right? But that's the Ibn Ezra said maybe you could say that, but
Sounds better.
yeah. It's the but this yeah. But no, but there's a question. Avram understood what the Bershom wanted. He didn't imagine the Bershom told him anything different.
He had the knife in his hand.
Yeah, right. And that's what Bershom wanted him to do. So when did it change? So the Ibn Ezra says, maybe it's a Kliyakar. It says you can't say that Bershom changed his mind. Yeah, the Bershom doesn't change his mind. So he says. So then it comes back the whole question of Bechira and Yediyah.
No, but Avram said, first Malach came and Avram said,
yeah,
I want to hear directly from Hashem, right? In other words,
but didn't. There was still the Malach came to the second time.
oh, sorry.
Right? So he says you can't say that Bershom changed his mind. What? Okay, so then you get into the whole question. Yes, that's what he says. So you get to the question of that the Rambam says, well, how do you know the difference between Bechira and Yediyah? And the answer is you don't know. Right? Yes, the Bershom knows, and you still have Bechira. Right? Okay.
Script is written, but you can't present that part.
So the Ariyah Kodesh says a beautiful thought. It says, there's the question, the whole purpose of the Korban Oila was the Avram represented Chesed, and Yitzchak represents Din, Gvur. Right? And Hashem says the world needs to have both of them together. Right? It refers to the second Rashi in the Chumash. Hashem wanted to first create the world Midas Din. Rosh Ein Olam Miskayim. Shatzim Midas HaChesed. Again, the same question is asked. Was Hashem didn't realize that the world needs. So in the Chassidus, it says that Hashem says there's no question that the purpose of this world is Chesed. The purpose of the world is Rachamim, but you can't have Rachamim unless you have a vessel to hold it. You have to first have the keli. You can't pour and then say, "How do I catch the water?" Right? You have to first have the keli, then you can pour the water. Hashem knew that there has to be din first. Then Shachim Yisrael, then he could say, now I can pour in the chesed into the world. So the whole tafkid of Alei La'ola was so the Avram and Yitzchak should bond together, chesed and Gevurah, so that the world will have rachamim. That was the tachlis. So the Ariyah Kodesh says, Avram took the wood and he put it on Yitzchak's shoulders, and in his own hand he took the fire and the knife. He said, "Okay, we're going to do this together." And then Yitzchak asked him, he says, "Avi, my father, right? Tell me what's happening here." He says, "I'm Chesed, you're Gvur." Yitzchak says, "Here's the fire and the knife. It's the Gvur. Avram, you're holding the Gvur in your hand. So how are you going to have a rachman?" Avram says, "You're right. Hashem has to show us the way in which Chesed and Racham will be able to bond together." He says, so therefore, the Baruch Talmud says, I have to take us, you and I, have to create something that neither of us have to have separately. I have Chesed, you have Din. We need to be able to make sure they bond together. So the HaRav says, the second time they said they're going to walk together. That's when the Akedah took place. That's when the tafkid, the purpose of the Akedah took place. Hashem says, "No, I don't need you. I don't need the shvich, so I don't need the blood to be spilled." Because we accomplished by recognizing that both of you can join together. Because Chesed and Racham can take place together. That was the tachlis. So they accomplished by going together what they didn't have to say. It was no longer necessary to have the dam to make it happen. And Avram still thought, he says, maybe he needs a drop of blood. Okay, that's no.
Some say he actually shut.
Yeah, so that because we say it. We say it in the Parsha on the davening. Afar shel Yitzchak. Hashem should remember the ashes of Yitzchak. So we were Parsha willing the ashes of the carbon. The one there's a measure who says that he shechted him and the Chayat Chiyas, but that's
Unrighted, that's it.
So if so, then the whole purpose of the Kedah is to bring to our awareness. Then everything that we do, we have to recognize the chesed that needs to be brought into this world, and the way that we need to create the keli to make it happen. So I said to them when the Rashi brings up Yom Shlishi, he says, Hashem says, I want you to think about what you're doing. He says, every day we come to the Rebbeinu Shalom, we say, Rebbeinu Shalom, we're Mekayim, we're ready to fulfill. Did we really think about it? Or we came running into davening, we run through davening, and we get to we have like kavanas, the parish of Millers. The Gemara says why the earlier generations were able to accomplish nisim and we're not, because the previous generations would spend an hour thinking about making sure that their minds were ready to that. And therefore are having hachonas, are thinking about, okay, I'm about to go into the daven. So in the Siddur Ari, it's about all the old Siddurim. So the person should say I'm about to fulfill Shachris, Midas Avram, Yitzchak, Midas Menchel, Midas Yitzchak, Marav, Midas Yaakov. Do we say I'm ready to connect myself to the others? You got to think about it before we start the daven. Avram, slow down. You can do it in one day. You can do it in half a day. Before you're ready to do that, okay, think about it. You have to slow down. But I want to bring that Rashbam that I mentioned before because it's a very, very powerful Rashbam. Rashbam. Rashbam is, by the way, it's not the only place that he says things that are created controversy. There was a time when they did not print the Rashbam on Parsha's Bereshis because he argued with the definition of Vayera Vayera. That's another whole shmooze. So Rashbam has at some points extremely sharp responses. The Rashbam says like this: it was after these words, Hashem tested Abraham. He says, Kol Mokum Shenemar. It's right over here. Kol Mokum Shenemar, Achar Dvarim Eila, Mechuber al Parsha L'mal. Every time it says Achar Dvarim Eila, means it follows the immediate previous Parsha. What was the previous Parsha? Achar Dvarim Eila, Shahar Avram Melachim. Avram won the battle with the kings. Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Al Tir Avram Min Umas. Now Avram, now you don't have to be afraid of what the nations, because you see that you can conquer many great, multiply many the opposition that could be multiply much greater than you. Don't be afraid of it. B'yachad v'ma'ela shenel Yitzchak is already after Yitzchak is born. V'yugad Avram Lemar, and Hashem was there, and they told Avram, he's going to inherit you. And then he brings several other examples. We have Mordecai, big stone of Seresh. This is also Yechad Varmeila. So Afkan.
Megillah Esther, you have that.
Yeah. Afkan. Achad Varm Shebarach Abram Shekaras Abram Bris Avimelech. It's after Abram made the bris, coming with Avimelech. Avram committed his children and his future generations to keep the bris with Avimelech Melech Plishtim. Benosan lo yishevet kvasos, and Avram gave him 7 lambs as a korban, as a gift. The Kadosh Baruch Hu became angry at Avram. Aldoish, Harei Eretz Plishtim, Nitzil Avram. Eretz Plishtim belongs to Avram. It's just part of Eretz Yisrael. Begam Yeshua. Appeal al Chavesh Chamishim and then Plishtim Goyal. Even Yeshua wasn't sure if he should go to battle with Plishtim. Hashem told Avram, what right do you have to give away Eretz Yisrael to the Plishtim? Would you have to give away seven lambs? This is what this is. It's not only that, the Plishtim are part of Canaan, for which Bnei Yisrael are going to be told that they kill them Anoshim B'taf. Right? And Avram makes a bris not to do that. So he says, okay, so you didn't respect my covenant with you that I'm going to give to Yitzchak, all of Eretz Yisrael. You're taking away from my covenant that I made with you, but to give the Eretz Yisrael to Yitzchak. So if that's the case, then this can't continue. Bring him for an oil. And then you'll see you made a bris with Abimelech. What good did it do you? Right. Mission Shel Shmuel. We found it in one of the Midrashim. So therefore, the Aron HaKodesh would be captured by the Pelishtim for 7 months. Why? Because Avram gave him 7 kisses. So therefore, the Aron HaKodesh would be captured by the Pelishtim for 7 months. Says you gave him 7 lambs. I'm telling you that your children will have to go to war with Plishtim 7 times. Until you'll be able to conquer them. I'm telling you, because this will cost you the lives of 7 tzaddikim. Who are they killed by the Plishtim? Shimshon, Chofni, Pinchas, Shaul, Shlosh Bonov. So the fact that Avram made a bris with the Plishtim would the cost would pay with a very deep cost. Dover Acher, another pshat. There's all the Rashbam. Chayecha, Shabbanim Machrichim Shever Mishkonos. And because of this, the Plishtim will destroy 7 Mekaymis of Mishkan. Be'elohein, Oil Moed, because they did. Begilgol, Noi, Beshiloi, Begivah, and the base of Elamim train, and the 2 bases of Mikdash, that the children of Canaan. Because you didn't make a bris with the Plishtim, and you gave 7 kibbutzos, you will have to go through 7 korbanos. Another pshat. You see that the Aron would the Aron HaKodesh would have to wander among the Plishtim for 7 months. Powerful Ashbam.
Yeah, it's you.
Get you. So we see that the Rashbam, that the Akedah was because of Avram's, we call it small infractions, small weaknesses. He made this, he made this bris with the Plishtim. Therefore, Klal Yisrael would have to go through all these nisyonos. What's the nisyonos? Akedas, things that we will lose. And all we can say is we hope that this is the seventh milchama. Instead, you're going to have to fight the Plishtim 7 milchamas. Because the seven korbanos that had to take place because of this bris with the Plishtim. It's a very, very what? Yeah. Because he did something which he gave away, piece of Eretz Yisrael, until we get it back. We have to go to 7 milchamas and 7 tzaddikim and 7 korbanos.
That's the piece.
Huh?
That's the piece.
Yeah.
That's the piece. They're over.
That's a Plishtim. It's Gaza. That's Plishtim. I have to take a look at the old maps. Take a look at pull out the old Ashkelon. Yeah, that's Eretz Plishtim. Ashkelon was Eretz Plishtim. So when we see what's happening now in our world today, and this tremendous Muhammad, it's because Klal Yisrael has to go through, and the Akedah, the sacrifices are still happening. It's costing us. Bring your child. Bring it. So whatever all the other cheshbonos, the politics and the events of this world, and as Ram says, we will have to go through this, go through these mechamas in order for us to get back Eretz Plishtim. So we're saying, oh, well, we don't really want Gaza. It's not our intention to take over Gaza. So it's not. It's ours. So it's just wrong. Huh?
No, then so they're doing the right thing.
It's Yehuda, but it's Yehuda. I think it's
Yehuda.
Yehuda.
Out, be bad.
Yehuda Binyamin. So our tefillah says that because Baruch Hu, so take a look at the Mesiras Nefesh of Klal Yisrael, the actus of Klal Yisrael, and the dedication and the Shiur of Tshuva that's taking place, which is awesome, is that we have finally fulfilled these midrashim, and it took us this long to realize what the price that we're paying for not taking back part of it, for not recognizing this part of Eretz Yisrael. Same thing goes for Syria. Same thing goes for Jordan. These are all parts of Eretz Yisrael. It's Syria and Jordan. Yeah, Lebanon. Yeah. Damascus. Tell Damascus. The Nora goes on Yam Pras. And tell the Euphrates River. Yeah. Well, the border of Iraq and Syria. Okay, so we didn't have the power. We didn't have neither the political power nor the military power or the tzivui of Hashem. But we're waiting for now for Mashiach ben Yosef to take over the Muhammad. So what that's called, what that Mashiach ben Yosef will be, Mashiach ben Yosef will be one person, or will be representative of a willingness to fight and die for Eretz Yisrael. It's called Mashiach ben Yosef, the final battle that we have to fight in order to be able to have Eretz Yisrael to ours.
Ben Yosef?
Yeah, Joe Biden.
Mashiach ben Yosef. I mean, there's two Mashiachs. Mashiach ben Yosef. So everybody, we're all familiar with the song that Mordecai ben David sang.
The Mashiach is coming soon.
Someday.
Huh? If you take a look at that at the Medrash, it's Yeshaya in Dr. Shemona brings the Medrash. He doesn't start from there. That's right in the middle of the piece of Medrash. The Medrash says that Chal Yisrael, that HaRav will try and conquer the whole world, and it'll be a very dark period of time, and all the nations of the world will become confused and filled with darkness. And then Mashiach ben Yosef will come. Hashem says, "Ru'u, Higia Zman Hagula, Az Higia Zman Gulasam." Now's the time for Gula. And then, if you don't believe, then it starts the song. Anovim, Anovim, Higia Zman, Higia Zman Gulasam. Imatem Aminim, Imatem Aminim. Now you don't see, take a look. You will see the Or of Mashiach on the walls of the Beis Hamikdash. That's all part of this one Medrash. I didn't start with it. The song picked up in the middle.
Versus the one.
That's Joe.
Is this the Machanas or Shus? That makes sense.
Got a plate?
Yeah.
Financial, you also the finance.
Yeah.
The best. Fire.
If he eats it, I eat.
Fire.
Is this the Machanas or Shus?
The only question is if it's the Mechama of Mashiach, then it's Mechamas Mitzvah. And it's Mechamas Mitzvah because we have to. We have to. It's not even a question. Is this an optional? Is a Mechamas for Shus? This is not a Mechamas for Shus. Right.
That's it. It's a bunches.
Sure.
So I don't know if you saw the clip, but you did it at the scene. I don't know who the person was supposed to get a cup of food. Yeah, don't go to the rabbits anymore. You go to rabbits brachas. Go to a soldier for brachas. You see that one?
No. It's not a new concept. It's Takmukov said it about it, and somebody asked him when he went to, originally after the war, he went to Eretz Yisrael. Takmukov. And then he decided he didn't, he needed to be an American. So they asked him, Rebbe, when you leave, who are we going to take a kvittel to? He says, go to Tel Aviv. Go to any one of the shuls in Tel Aviv. You'll see a Jew. Yeah, go to Google. See a Jew with numbers on his arm, and he's putting tefillin on it. You can give him a kvittel. Yeah, you're right. There's no question about it. Every one of the soldiers are going to B'chol. So then, at least what we could do is say Shema b'kavon. Because if they're doing the action, then we at least we have to make sure that we we have the right kavanah. Every time we say Shema Yisrael, it should be a schus for the soldiers and for the Eden that are out being mercenaries for Eretz Yisrael, for Klal Yisrael. Because their battle is our battle. It's our battle. It's very clear. It's the same battle. I don't think that we should be that we'll be able to see. That we'll see the ultimate. Oh, we should be able to see. Higia Zman Gulasam.
No,
Higia Zman Gulasam. V'mein atem aminim, Anavim, Higia Zman Gulasam. V'mein atem aminim. That's it. This is the time for it. We should accept the karbonos. Right, there we go. Halam Mizbeach. And we say that Kodesh Baruch Hu should bring us all back to Eretz Yisrael b'karv and protect us and all of them until we get there. What?
What you doing right there?
Lo nummer Shiur Shalom.
But if you then you.
Eigenlijk is het de meer fris. Die hadden noemen.
Wenn bei der Kasse raus, der Woche der Tag ist so wichtig. Hier bei Ter müsste schnell mal nach Fest man Zipkoi. Jag der Tor wie ade.
Eigenlijk is het bus met was.
Ah,
Eigenlijk.
Amen.
Hey.